Hello everybody. Erev Shabbat Shalom. We're coming up on Parashat Va'etchanan. And we know that in Parashat Va'etchanan, Moshe Rabbeinu, he prays so hard. He prays so hard to enter the land of Israel. And he's unsuccessful. Unfortunately, Hashem tells him, I can't let you in. You cannot enter the land of Israel. And in fact, Hashem says, you got to stop praying. You got to stop. Because if you're going to pray anymore, I'm going to be forced to answer you. And everybody asks, what was Moshe Rabbeinu praying for? What exactly was he praying for? So the answer that I've heard and I've read is that he wanted to be able to do the mitzvot that are connected to the land of Israel. And he can't do the mitzvot that are connected to the land of Israel if he doesn't enter the land. So it was really only coming from a connection he wanted to have with Hashem. You gave me a mitzvah, and I want to do that mitzvah. Whatever it might be, Shemitah, Terumah, all that stuff. I want to do it. That's where it was coming from. However, the great Rabbi, the Tasha Rebbe, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, he asks a question that is so powerful. He says like this. He goes, what's a mitzvah? What exactly is a mitzvah? A mitzvah is a commandment that you're given by God. Now, Hashem commanded Moshe Rabbeinu, and he said, I'm commanding you that you're not coming to the land of Israel. By not going into the land of Israel, was he listening to God? The answer is yes, because Hashem told him he can't come in. So what's the difference if Hashem tells you to do something or not to do something? In fact, it reminds me of an amazing story of two Jews that were in prison. They were imprisoned in a Russian terrible situation. It was very, very bad. Very bad situation. And in that room, in that jail cell, there was a pot of urine. And because there was urine there, they weren't able to pray. And they were so upset. There's one of the Jews saying, we can't even pray to God. All of a sudden, the other Jew, he says, let me tell you something. We're going to dance. Dance? How would we dance? Why in the world would I dance? He goes, the same God that told you to pray right now is telling you can't pray. Are we listening to God? We're listening. So let's dance. And they started dancing and dancing and dancing around this pot of urine. At that moment, one of the guards came in and said, what? You're dancing for that pot? I'm getting rid of it right now. Sure enough, they got rid of that pot and they were able to pray to Hashem. But you see from this story the same idea. Sometimes when Hashem says don't do something, that's also following the mitzvot of Hashem. So why is Moshe Rabbeinu pushing so hard to go into the land of Israel? Hashem said you're not going in. That's it. He's doing the mitzvah Hashem. He's doing the ratzon Hashem. He's doing what Hashem wants. The Tasha Rebbe answers, and he says that it was not about Moshe's personal connection with Hashem or his personal growth or his personal listening to Hashem. That's not what this was about. Moshe Rabbeinu saw that if he doesn't enter the land of Israel, if he's not the one to establish the Beit HaMikdash, it's not going to be the final stop for the Jewish people. And in fact, he foresaw what the bitter exile is going to look like. It's going to be rough. It's going to be very, very hard. As we are experiencing now, we went through the 3 weeks. And if we just think for a moment, what it means to be disconnected from Hashem, what it means to go through so much difficulty and sickness and jealousies and people that are just having a hard time. He saw that. And he said, I don't want that for my people. So he went out of his way to push so hard to say, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to make sure that I could establish the Beit HaMikdash that will be forever. And it'll be the final stop. Hashem said, no. We need to go through this galut. The same way we needed to go through Mitzrayim to get the Torah originally, we need to go through what we're going through now in order to get to the level of bringing the Mashiach Tzidkenu, Be'ezrat Hashem, very, very, very quickly. And this is actually, the Tasha Rebbe says, it's hinted in the words, because Kalev said to the people, right? He says, Alon na'aleh. Why the double lashon? Let's go up, because he was saying this is not going to be the final going up. It's going to be a few times. It's not going to be the final stop. Moshe Rabbeinu had a tremendous love for the Jewish people. And we have to think to ourselves, when we make decisions, the decisions that we're making, does it only affect us? Does it also affect our families? Does it affect the people around us? We may want to do something that, you know what, I'm not holding on the level that I could stop doing something. But hold on here. It's not just about you. It's about your children and your family. That's what a person has to think. Moshe Rabbeinu had that perception, the ability to see everybody. And that was very powerful. Be'ezrat Hashem, we should be zocheh to have that feeling, to have that love for others as Moshe Rabbeinu did.